What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. We got WWE wrestlers with the worst mic skills. Now, before we get started, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this.
I don't give a about your kids.
Ooh.
As much as we love the in-ring action on WWE TV, the wrestlers who elevate to legendary status always have a solid promo game. The likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock are remembered more for what they said rather than for their matches. And then there's this lot who are often the exact opposite. Here are the WWE wrestlers with the worst mic skills, starting with Brock Lesnar.
What? Okay, I can kind of agree with that because in the beginning he was awful, but I think as of lately he's been a lot more entertaining than normal on the microphone, especially when he's like the happy Brock. Remember that time when he had that feud with Bobby Lashley, or the last time he had the feud with Bobby Lashley, and he was saying like weird stuff like, once I get done with this wrestling match, I go home and then I blow my wife's back out, and as her head is crushing through the headboard, all I can think about is Bobby Lashley. And we're like, whoa, Brock, what is going on? I don't want to know what you be looking up in incognito mode on Google. Keep that to yourself. But this is different. My question is Deborah okay with these thoughts? Okay, that's what I'm wondering. Them not the thoughts I want to hear. Okay.
I'm the beast. And the best in the world.
Nowadays, Brock is actually pretty interesting on the mic. But back when he debuted in 2002, oh my, none of us were ready for that. The first time we heard him speak was during a backstage segment where he yelled at Paul Heyman, then told his opponent he was going to show him the meaning of ruthless aggression. That's all well and good, but none of us were expecting Brock to have such a high-pitched voice. We'd seen the monster of a man jacked to the gills and dominating wrestlers for weeks at this point, and everyone just expected him to have a much rougher, gruffer voice. But instead, we got this. Ronda Rousey.
All right, so with Ronda Rousey, I'm not gonna stop it as much, guys. I'm trying, but with Ronda Rousey, she's another person that's like Brock Lesnar. When she first came around, she wasn't that great. I think in her feud with Shayna Baszler, as far as her promo skills, they got a little bit better. Now, here's the thing that usually bothers me about Ronda Rousey is every time she talks, the way she holds the mic, she holds it the exact same way that Bugs Bunny holds a carrot when he eats it. I hate when she does that. I know everybody holds their microphone different. Xavier Woods holds it different than anyone else. He kind of does like this thing where he covers up the top of the mic or hold it from the bottom like it's a goblet. But I don't know what it is. It's just strange to me. For Ronda Rousey, I mean.
The door
see?
you ever knocked down was the door to John Cena's bedroom.
What's up, Doc?
Give Ronda a little bit of leeway here because as a UFC fan, there's one thing I've known all along. Ronda Rousey is a real-life villain. She's a heel. She's the bad guy. For years in MMA, she would say brash, overly confident things and be rude and confrontational to her opponents. That said, she also dominated the field and fans of the sport couldn't help but sing her praises. When she came to the WWE, wrestling fans knew she was a badass and initially cheered her. But Ronda was told to play a good guy, something that absolutely does not come naturally to her, and boy oh boy did she bomb. The only time we got to see some greatness from Ronda on the mic was when she was finally given permission to turn heel and just turned into herself and ripped the fans apart.
That's all I have to say.
That's who she actually is, and that's who she should have been portraying all along.
I will not hesitate to rip your arm out of its socket.
Chris Benoit.
Yeah, he has zero personality, man. What you expect?
I believe in me.
Cards on the table, I love Chris Benoit. He had an amazing match every single time I saw him, and that's all I can really ask because I didn't know him personally outside of my TV set. But man, was he robotic on the mic.
Can't just stand back.
Whoa, Ricky Starks.
Debuting for WWE in 2000 during the height of the Attitude Era, big flashy characters and strong promos were the name of the game. Benoit could hang in the ring with anyone in the business, but on the mic, oh dear. He was flat, unenthusiastic, and always sounded like he was forcing any emotion that he had. Those suplexes, though.
Match, but try to humiliate your opponent. He got him.
Can he do it again?
You're falling down that mountain. Oh, here we go.
Mike Adamle.
Oh, this guy used to mess up all the time, bro.
Anticipation, his name is just Hardy. In fact,
What was this guy? Look,
I used to think him and the guy and the guy from the Karate Kid. Oh my God, what's the actor's name? You guys know his name. He's in Cobra Kai. What is the actor's actual name? I thought him and they were like related somehow because they kind of look the same to me.
Apparently he's a really nice guy in real life and a fairly accomplished individual as well. None of that matters to me as a WWE fan though, because listening to Adam Lee mispronounce famous WWE wrestlers' names on WWE shows was just brutal. Not just that, he would stumble through
kind of look alike.
sentence and make mistakes you wouldn't think were possible. How did WWE handle this? By making him Raw's general manager, of course. This was right on the cusp of WWE turning PG, so it was like they wanted to get a head start on ruining their own product. I'll never understand what they were thinking with this one. I mean, really. Scott Steiner.
Oh, yeah.
Big Papa Pump! It's your hookup! Holler! If you ever!
Huh? What? Rah. Scott Steiner might be the weirdest entry on this list. He wasn't bad in the traditionally bad Mike Adamle way. He wasn't boring like Chris Benoit.
He was just
or
annoying,
Rey
kind of.
Mysterio. He was just, well, a bit annoying.
Yes.
Everything that Scott Steiner said, he didn't.
I thought it was just me. Like I thought it was cool, the whole gimmick, Big Papa Pump and the and the math and all that stuff like that. But I always just felt like he was just annoying for some reason. I can't put my finger on why, but it's just
with a high
I don't know.
voice and generally just talked about how jacked he was and spat out some meaningless catchphrases. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. What? What are you talking about? What are you hooking up? Bad matches.
Hey, if you know, you know.
Body's so broken down.
probably was hooking up bootleg cable back in the day. You know, we had a lot of that going on.
You refuse to do some yoga because it's for wimps? Holla, if you hear me. Good Lord, man. All we can do is hear you, and you're not saying anything.
Rumble, I'm gonna embarrass you and take your world title.
Tommy Dreamer.
What? No, come on, man. All right, they gotta really explain this one because I remember when he was in ECW, he was killing it on the mic. I mean, I'm not saying he was one of the greatest of all time, but he was definitely entertaining. So I don't know about this one, man.
Normal, and there's nothing wrong with me.
Let's clarify something here. I'm talking about Tommy Dreamer in the WWE, not Tommy Dreamer in ECW.
Okay,
ECW,
thank you.
wrestlers didn't have to worry about corporate nonsense. Dreamer was allowed to be himself and to shine. But I got to see him in 2002 and onwards WWE, and let me tell you, I did not get Tommy Dreamer. He was below average in the ring, and his character was what? What was he? A wrestler bad at wrestling? So why is he on my TV?
I don't know.
They tried to make him interesting in 2002 by having him drink the Undertaker's chewing tobacco out of his spit.
Oh, come on, man.
I
I don't
don't think he
wanna
ever
see
really
that.
recovered from that. Until
Come
One
on,
Night
man.
Stand in 2005, that is.
Oh,
Hardcore Holly.
yeah.
It doesn't matter to me, Michael Cole, because I will break your ass in half, you little.
Boring. Remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin came out during a Lance Storm match and shouted boring into the mic? That's what went on in my head every time Hardcore Holly said anything.
Boring.
God, what a bland character this was. What was he even? He's hardcore? Okay, great. So is Mankind, who also had an amazing character to go along with it. He could run the generic face or the generic heel game pretty strongly, filling in roles wherever WWE needed him. But man, oh man, there's a reason he was never even given a mid-card WWE title run. Unless you count the tag titles, but WWE doesn't even really count the tag titles. Rhino.
Hardcore Holly always looked like the most annoying substitute teacher ever. He just looked like that.
Enough! You show this woman some respect.
This one hurts me because I think Rhino was really cool. He had a great look as a
Yeah.
stocky powerhouse, and his finisher, the Gore, is one of the most exciting of all time. For a while there, it almost looked like he was destined for greatness, but he never really got there. You want to know why? I'll give you one guess. Yep, his promos were brutal. He was an absolute dud on the mic. We never really focused on it too much because he had great matches, and like I said, the Gore was a thing of beauty. But on the rare occasion Rhino got on the mic, hard to decide between awkward and boring. Steve Blackman.
Oh, yep. I like Steve Blackman
This
though.
way, this thing's got to end one way or another.
Oh
What?
Man, Steve Blackman went from being mysterious to boring really fast. He's a legitimately tough guy, having apparently starched Bradshaw in a backstage altercation. His portrayal of a martial arts warrior was cool at first, and fans were excited to see where it could go. Then he spoke a few times, and oh my god, you couldn't change the channel fast enough. He had potentially the flattest voice of any wrestler ever, and not just that, he didn't really have anything interesting to say. Management clearly saw something in his physique and his death stare, as they had him have a high-profile match against Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2000. When they asked him how it went, Blackman told them, and legend has it, Gerald Briscoe still hasn't woken back up. Rey Mysterio.
Yo, don't sweat Kurt. I got Kurt Angle tonight.
The Mysterio in his name, meaning mystery, I know, shocker of all shockers, had a lot to do with Rey not saying much. When he first debuted in WWE, he had his iconic mask, cool contact lenses, and amazing moves that WWE fans hadn't seen before. Everything about Rey was cool to look at, but they didn't keep him silent for no reason. Rey just never really had it when he spoke. He wasn't horrible, he was just severely plain. It was a stark difference from everything else about him, so it wasn't for another couple of years before we started hearing more and more from him. That concludes our list of the WWE wrestlers with the worst mic.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Rey Mysterio. He's not terrible at all. He does just enough to get by. He's not terrible. He's not great. I can't even tell you what the greatest Rey Mysterio promo is, but I can tell you when I had the best time watching him in the ring. And you know, if that's a strong suit, if that's what makes him entertaining, is that why the fans love him? Then hey, it is what it is. Everybody can't be the best on all sides of being a wrestler. LA Knight is way better on the mic than he is on the ring. Ricochet is way better in the ring than he is on the mic. So for me, if there's a couple other people I feel like they could have added in there, I think Braun Strowman, for one, is definitely one of the worst at doing promos. I mean, he's gotten better over time, but every time he picks up the mic, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. And then the other person, and this is no hate for her, but I feel like this every time I see her on the screen, especially since they announced her match at Survivor Series, and it's Zoe Starks. Like, she has this weird personality as far as her character, where she gets aggressive on the weirdest words when she's talking. She's like, yeah, and I was walking down the street and I can't get nothing to eat. And it's like, what is going on? Why are you, especially when she had that thing going on with Trish Stratus and with Becky Lynch. It was just, when she was talking on the mic more, it was weird. But hopefully over time they find a way to balance it. I think she has a great opportunity to do that. And then when she does, it'll be a lot more better for her, of course, and for people who are listening to her on the mic. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section if there's some people that they left off this list from WWE. I would love to hear what you got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Salute. Peace. Have a good day.